Spirituality holds a power that is far more profound and dangerous than most realize. It isn't just about peace, love, and enlightenment. There's a force within it that can dramatically shift your life, whether you're ready for it or not. Once you begin to unlock the hidden layers of spiritual knowledge, you can never truly go back to ignorance. That's the power we're talking about, the kind of transformation that can unearth parts of yourself and the universe that are both enlightening and terrifying. When you engage with spiritual practices, you're not just connecting with unseen realms of energy or opening your mind to new possibilities. You are, in fact, awakening forces that you might not be prepared to handle. These forces have the ability to change not only your perspective, but the very fabric of your existence. And while many seek spirituality for comfort and peace, they often underestimate how disruptive its hidden power can be. 1. The disintegration of illusions. The first thing that spirituality will do is tear down the illusions you've built your life upon. Many people live comfortably within the confines of societal norms, unquestioned beliefs, and personal delusions. But once you embark on a true spiritual path, these layers start to dissolve. It's not a gentle process. The disintegration of long-held illusions can be painful, stripping away your sense of security. Suddenly, the truths you held onto so tightly no longer apply, and you're left facing the raw, unfiltered reality. It's a dangerous path because once you start to see the world for what it really is, there's no turning back. Ignorance might be bliss, but spirituality does not allow for ignorance to linger. Once the illusions begin to crumble, you may also face the challenge of integrating this new understanding into your life. It's one thing to see the truth, but it's another to live in alignment with it. As these illusions fall apart, you might feel like the very ground beneath your feet is shaking. Relationships, careers, and lifestyles that were once built on these illusions may start to collapse. This phase can feel chaotic, and the fear of uncertainty can be paralyzing, making you question whether spirituality was worth the cost. 2. The challenge of true self-awareness. Self-awareness is often celebrated as the ultimate goal, but it's not as pleasant as it seems. When you dive deep into spirituality, you start to see yourself with a clarity that can be deeply uncomfortable. All your flaws, fears, and insecurities rise to the surface, and there's nowhere to hide. This kind of self-confrontation can be terrifying because it forces you to acknowledge parts of yourself that you've ignored or suppressed. Spirituality has the power to drag your deepest shadows into the light, and this process can be unsettling. Many people are not ready to face their true selves, and this is why spirituality, when practiced authentically, can feel like walking through fire. In the aftermath of confronting your true self, there comes a period of rebuilding. The things you learn about yourself in the process of spiritual awakening can force you to make tough decisions, letting go of toxic relationships, breaking destructive habits, or even changing your entire path in life. This is where the real power of spirituality lies, but also where the most fear can surface. You are forced to reconstruct your life based on authenticity rather than convenience, and this shift can be both empowering and terrifying. 3. The uncontrollable force of karma. Karma is a central force in many spiritual traditions, and it is much more than the simple notion of what goes around comes around. Engaging in spiritual practices can activate karma in ways that are beyond your control. Every action, every thought, every intention has a ripple effect, and once you become spiritually awakened, these ripples are magnified. The danger lies in how karma manifests. It doesn't always come when you expect it, nor does it arrive in the form you anticipate. The power of karma is hidden in its unpredictability, and once you've awakened to its existence, you can no longer ignore its consequences. This realization often brings fear, because it highlights how intertwined your actions are with the universal forces at play. Karma's effects often take unexpected twists that ripple into different areas of your life. It can bring about not only the consequences of your past actions, but also unresolved energy from previous lifetimes or karmic debts you didn't know you carried. This is where karma becomes especially dangerous. It can blindside you when you think you've finally reached a point of balance. The process can leave you feeling as though you're caught in a cosmic storm, one in which you are powerless to predict how the winds of cause and effect will blow. 4. Losing control over your own path. Spirituality can give you a profound sense of connection to something larger than yourself, but it can also take away your illusion of control. Once you awaken spiritually, you begin to understand that life isn't something you can micromanage or dictate. You are part of a larger, interconnected web, and the more you realize this, the less power you feel over your own decisions. This can be a terrifying concept for people who are used to controlling every aspect of their lives. Spirituality forces you to relinquish this control, to surrender to the flow of something greater, and that lack of agency can induce fear. You begin to see that your plans, ambitions, and desires are often insignificant compared to the forces guiding your journey. The more deeply you surrender to spiritual forces, the more you realize that the life you had planned may not unfold as you once envisioned. This lack of control often extends to the most significant areas of life: your career, relationships, and personal desires. As you come to terms with the idea that these things are no longer yours to command, the fear of losing everything familiar creeps in. Many people, upon reaching this stage, experience a deep existential crisis, questioning whether they even have free will at all in the grand design of the universe. 5. Opening the door to unseen entities. Many spiritual practices involve opening yourself up to higher realms, energies, or beings. This can be a double-edged sword. While some people connect with positive, enlightening forces, others unknowingly invite darker energies into their lives. The hidden power of spirituality includes the ability to tap into realms that are beyond the material, and not all of these entities have your best interest at heart. Engaging in spiritual practices without proper knowledge or protection can leave you vulnerable to influences that are both unseen and uncontrollable. It's a risk that many spiritual seekers don't fully comprehend until they've already opened the door. 6. The weight of spiritual responsibility. Once you've awakened spiritually, you begin to realize that you're responsible for much more than just yourself. The choices you make, the energy you emit, the thoughts you hold, all of these affect the people and environments around you. Spirituality brings with it a weight of responsibility that many are not prepared for. The hidden danger here is the overwhelming pressure that comes with knowing your impact on the world. Spiritual power isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility that can feel like a burden. It can be paralyzing to realize that your actions, thoughts, and even your emotions have consequences that reach far beyond your own life. 7. Experiencing isolation. As you progress on your spiritual journey, you may find yourself feeling increasingly isolated from the people around you. Your views, priorities, and understanding of life begin to shift, and this can create a disconnect between you and those who remain unaware of spiritual realities. The deeper you go, the harder it becomes to relate to others who are still focused on material concerns. This isolation can breed loneliness and fear, as you may feel like an outsider in your own world. The hidden power of spirituality can lead you down a path where your transformation isolates you from those you love, simply because they can no longer understand the depth of your experiences. This isolation often deepens as your spiritual insights become more profound. You may find that people you once connected with deeply now seem distant, even alien to your new perspective. The loneliness can become all-encompassing as your desire for meaningful connections is challenged by the reality that few around you share your level of spiritual insight. It can feel as if you're walking through life alone, misunderstood by those still rooted in the material. This stage often requires inner strength and the courage to stand by your spiritual convictions despite the solitude. 8. Spiritual ego. While spirituality is often associated with humility, it also carries the risk of developing a spiritual ego. The more knowledge and power you gain, the more you may feel superior to those who have not yet awakened. This hidden danger lies in the subtle arrogance that can arise from spiritual progress. Spiritual ego can be more dangerous than any materialistic form of pride because it disguises itself as enlightenment. People who fall into this trap often lose sight of the true essence of spirituality, connection, love, and humility, and instead they elevate themselves above others. This hidden power is a slippery slope that many spiritual seekers are unaware of until it's too late. 9. The fear of losing your old identity. Spirituality is about transformation, But this transformation often requires the death of your old self. Your old beliefs, your old habits, and even your old identity begin to fade away, and this can be deeply unsettling. The hidden power of spirituality is its ability to completely dismantle who you thought you were, and this process can feel like losing yourself. The fear comes from the unknown. Who will you be on the other side of this journey? And more importantly, will you even recognize the person you've become? As your old identity fades, you may also face the fear of societal rejection. Who will accept the new you? The transformation spirituality demands can lead to the breakdown of friendships, family bonds, and professional relationships that were based on your former self. This identity shift can make you feel like an outsider in your own life, as the roles and labels that once defined you no longer fit. Navigating this change requires immense courage, as you may have to rebuild your sense of belonging from the ground up. 10. The power of manifestation gone wrong. Manifestation is often celebrated as a key spiritual practice, but what happens when you start manifesting things you didn't expect? The hidden power of spirituality includes the ability to shape your reality, but this power can be dangerous if not wielded carefully. When your thoughts, fears, and emotions are all working to manifest your reality, you might start attracting experiences you didn't consciously want. The fear comes from realizing that your mind holds more power than you ever imagined, and this power can create situations that spiral out of your control if you're not careful. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.